Hi guys, Coach Abby back at it again with another trainer tip. As you guys know, last week we started our hormones section of trainer tips. Last week we talked about estrogen, so week 2 we're going to be talking about testosterone. So, overall, testosterone levels spike at puberty. They decline at age 30, and that's more of an estimate, but we are seeing more decline or faster decline now than we were 10 years ago. Levels of testosterone can vary throughout the day. They're known to be highest in the morning and right after exercise, and they're lowest in the afternoon. Some things that can affect testosterone, which we'll talk a little bit about here shortly, are weight, age, and your fitness level. And testosterone is most often associated with our sex drive, and in males, it's vital for sperm production. So, in terms of testosterone within both males and females, testosterone affects bone density levels and muscle mass levels. In males, you can find testosterone stored in the fat. It helps with red blood cell production, and it can affect a male's general mood. For females, testosterone can be found to affect the quality of sleep. Some factors affecting testosterone are weight, age, fitness level, diet, muscle mass, activity and exercise, as well as stress and free radicals, which we'll talk about here shortly. So, when it comes to managing low levels of testosterone, we can look specifically at our body fat, and that might mean increasing or just managing. We might set certain exercise goals like developing more muscle mass, getting a little bit less fat. We would look at the activity levels and specific exercise methods, which we'll talk about here shortly. Look at managing stress, and that includes sleep, your eating habits, like not skipping specific meals, and just knowing that your body can handle short-term stress, but if you're going through something that's going to be long-term stress, that may be something that's causing an effect on your testosterone levels. The other thing is free radicals. These are things that we're exposed to every day in products with BPA, things like fragrances, specific foods with chemicals in them. But obviously, eliminating those or just maintaining a lower exposure to free radicals. So, next up, we'll look at how we can maximize our testosterone levels. So, first, you can maintain a healthy weight. As your waistline goes up, your testosterone levels come down. That can be shown in terms of the more body fat that you have, the less testosterone you have. So, we're going to look and say that body fat levels for maximizing testosterone are about 10 to 20% for males and 18 to 28% for females. Something else you can do to increase your testosterone or to maximize your testosterone levels would be eating more fat. So, avoiding poorly raised animal fats in your diet can help you lean out, but we know if we're at a low body fat percentage and we're too lean, it can cause a down regulation or a downturn in regulation of your sex hormones, specifically testosterone. So, while we all think typically cholesterol is not a great thing, it is the building block for what produces testosterone in our body. So, we do want to get some healthy, higher fat consumption that can increase our hormone levels. Something else we can do to maximize our testosterone levels would be reduce or eliminate our alcohol consumption. So, while there is a social aspect of drinking, and it is wonderful occasionally on the weekends or maybe on a weeknight when you've got a little time to unwind and have a glass of wine, but there are long-term effects on the body. And even moderate alcohol consumption can decrease your testosterone as much as 7%. Here's a big one for maximizing testosterone. We want to reduce stress. So, when we have an increased amount of stressors in our life, our sympathetic nervous system has to take control. And we know that as our fight or flight system. When this happens, our body increases cortisol levels, which is actually what we're going to talk about next week. But this allows our body to handle stress. However, long term, stress results in the ability to make testosterone, or it inhibits our usage of testosterone within our tissues. I think it's important to remember that stress comes in many forms, not just emotional or mental. It could also be physical stress or overtraining in the gym, or chemical stress with something that's going to interrupt your endocrine system functioning. So we know that less body fat typically means an increase of testosterone at healthier levels, but looking more specifically in exercise and how we can maximize our exercise to build testosterone. Exercise that uses shorter rest intervals, such as high intensity interval training. Exercise that uses heavier weights so that you can build muscle mass and recruit more muscle fibers. Exercise that has an increased heart rate. And exercise that uses compound exercises. So, exercises that recruit more of our muscles, a total body exercise, such as squats and power cleans. Things to think about in minimizing during exercise would be prolonged aerobic exercise. This type of exercising includes things like biking, long distance running for marathons, or even could add up when you go for longer walks throughout the week as well. So something to remember is when you increase the strength of your muscles, you're going to increase the testosterone levels. However, making sure that we're monitoring our exhaustion levels and our overexertion so that we don't deplete testosterone levels as well. All right, guys, that wraps up a little bit on our testosterone hormone. Next week, we will have cortisol.